Calculus is one of the fundamental skills of engineers, physicists, and mathematicians. Differential calculus is concerned with finding the rate of change of a function with respect to another variable. As you may know, we can also use calculus to find the maximum and minimum values of functions. This skill is particularly useful for data scientists as well. When we are training a model to perform predictions, we are interested in minimizing the loss by tweaking all the parameters of the model. Matrix calculus is a special notation used within multivariable calculus, where our variable is a vector x, and we can calculate the derivatives with respect to the n coordinates of x at the same time. Today, we will go over the basic rules of matrix calculus and derive the solution to linear regression using matrix calculus. This video is useful for people who have a background in multivariable differential calculus, but they want to learn the n-dimensional notation for machine learning applications. First, we need to learn what is the derivative and gradient of a function. Let f be a function from Rn to R. We will call the derivative of f del f over del x, which is a row factor with the ith term being the partial derivative of f with respect to the ith coordinate of x, and its gradient is the transpose of the partial derivative, denoted as nabla of f. Then, let's go over some of the basic rules of matrix calculus. If f of x is equal to y transpose x, then the gradient of f is y. If f of x is x transpose y, then the gradient of f is also y. If f of x is x transpose ax, then the gradient of f is a plus a transpose x. To see why the first rule is true, we consider the ith coordinate of the gradient. We can expand the dot product. Since, in our partial derivative, all terms without xi are constants, this leaves us with this term only, which is yi. As every coordinate is yi, our resulting vector is the vector y. As for the function f of x equals to x transpose y, you can try to derive the result with a similar method, but we can be smarter and note that as the dot products x transpose y is equals to y transpose x, their derivatives must also be the same. For the third function, which is a quadratic form-like function, its derivation is a bit tedious. First, we need to expand and write the function out. We multiply the matrix with the column vectors on the right, which becomes, where a sub I denotes the ith row vector of the matrix A. We multiply our vectors again and get. Remember that a sub I is a row vector, so we are actually dealing with a summation of dot products here. Hence, this term is a scalar. Now, we want to know the partial derivative with respect to xi. Since every term contains the vector x, all terms contribute to our final sum. For terms with indices other than I, its partial derivative with respect to xi is equals to xj times aji. And then for the term xiaix, we need to apply the product rule, which gives. The first term is treated like the other terms without xi, and the second term is reduced to 1. This would give the partial derivative is xiaii plus ai times x. Summing up all the terms, our entire expression becomes this. If you pay attention closely, the first term is the dot product of the ith row of the matrix A with the vector x, and the remaining n terms are the dot product of the ith column with our vector x. So, we get that our final formula is a plus a transpose x. As an exercise for you, try to find the gradient of the following functions. fx equals to the norm of x squared and fx equals to the norm of x. Pause the video and try to find out the answer. I will give out the answers in 3, 2, 1. The gradient of the first function is 2x and the gradient of the second function is x over the norm of x. Did you get them right? Try to derive them yourself. Using the tools we have just visited, we are ready to tackle the problem of solving linear regression. Simply put, linear regression is finding a best fitting straight line through some observed data. The data may not perfectly fit into the straight line, so we want to find a line that minimizes the error between the prediction and the observed data. We will denote the observations as xi, yi. For example, we want to find the relationship between rainfall over a region and the crop yield of that region. If we plot it into a graph, we see that they correlate with each other. We can try to find a straight line and use it to make further predictions. Our function for making predictions is f of x equals to theta 0 plus theta 1 times x, and we want to solve for the best theta 0 and theta 1. In general, we call the inputs as features and the outputs as labels. If we have m data samples, each having n features, we can make a features matrix X where each row is the row vector xi. The size of the matrix would be m times n. Our function to make a prediction would be fx equals to theta 1 plus theta 1 x1 all the way up to theta n xn, which we can rewrite as a dot product fx equals to x times theta. This is a simplified way to write our bias value theta 0 into our formula by adding a new entry x0 equals to 1 to our feature factor. And to perform predictions of m samples at once, we can use f of big X equals to big X times theta, where the ith element of the output factor would be the predicted yi. We are interested in minimizing the squared loss between the prediction and the true label, which can be written as the function L. To minimize L, we can simply take its first derivative and solve for 0. This is true because we know that the loss function is a convex function in this case. To do so, we need to first expand L. Using the derivative rules we had earlier, we can now find the gradient of L. By setting the derivative to 0, this means we need to solve this equation, which gives theta star equals to x transpose x inverse times x transpose y. The star denotes that this theta is an optimal solution to our problem, while other equations like the loss function and the gradient function are true for all thetas. The gradient is only equal to 0 if our theta value is optimal. Now, with our newly found formula, we can apply it to our example. First, we write down the x and y matrices. Then, we apply our newly found formula and perform this series of calculations. This gives theta 0 to be negative 2.78 and theta 1 to be 1.39. Theta 0 would be the y-intercept of our straight line and theta 1 would be the slope. Another dataset shows that the more likes a YouTuber gets, the happier they will be. So, if you enjoyed this video or if it helped you, please like and subscribe as I will be posting more videos on machine learning. Thank you.